Kian Residence was this home that we built for kind of 3 generations coming together and their dynamic. And the house is kind of an extension to that dynamic. And how the house became the silent protagonist in the entire equation is what the project is about. You know, they came to us with this already existing house, which was a single floored unit, and I mean, they had come from the perspective saying that we need to tear this down and build a new one. I think what we were going for in this project was a sense of calm. I mean, you know, so you enter in, you kind of slow down. But yeah, just, you know, the different elements we use kind of slows you down and makes you just pause. Hi, this is Lester Rosario from Kamath and Rosario Architects, Bangalore. Join me for an exclusive home tour of Kian Residence in Bangalore. To watch premium videos and access PDF ebooks with house plans, log on to Buildofy.com. The link is in the description below. So the site is located in Vijayanagar, which is a more older part of town, a more traditional part of town. This site is a 2,400 40-60 square feet plot. So the house faces west, and so from the road you kind of come onto the car park. To bring a little bit of the traditional element in, what we did was we had like a small portico here, and in this portico the columns that we have, those are, I mean, a contemporary take on a traditional column. Once you enter the house, you come into the main space, which is the living room. So the idea here was that we wanted a visual connect from the living room to the street, because this house is kind of like more of a plan which kind of opens up to the street rather than being inward looking. We have a courtyard right in the center, a dining and a puja. And on the other side, of course, you have the kitchen opening up to a store and the utility behind. From the idea of stone, the Sadrali stone which you see in the façade kind of comes into the house. I mean, the house has, the flooring is also granite. So those lines kind of, you know, are seen in the elevation of these walls inside here as strips. And in that we've kind of concealed the lift door. Same thing holds good for the parents' room. So it's kind of almost like a panel on the wall. For the interiors, what we also did was we upcycled a lot of stuff from their old house. Even the dining table is retrofitted with, you know, the legs from the old bed. We've upcycled a lot of things here. This bench, which is again the centerpiece of around the courtyard, is again from the old doors that we had from the house. We've kind of used that wood for this. The courtyard and this bench kind of becomes the central, you know, focus of the house. I think, I mean, they probably have seen them hanging here and, you know, using this. And of course our courtyard is ventilated at the top, so that becomes like a, you know, like a heat, creates this air movement. For the stair, what we did was, I mean, we did a combination of a regular folded plate stair and a cantilevered, solid Sadrali blocks. So we have this kind of, you know, cantilevered half flight which goes up and then connects to a concrete stair. This happens on each floor. As soon as you come up the stair, you're greeted with a bookshelf. The connection to the courtyard, which is seen beyond, is not broken with the bookshelf. Across the bookshelf, you come into this space, which is the family face space on the first floor. On that side is Kian, their son's bedroom, and that kind of is almost like the center stage for this entire floor. And we have an interesting window which kind of opens up to the courtyard and of course connects to the parents' bedroom, which is on the other side. So he has to connect with them. So the master bedroom, basically in terms of the material palette, again follows the rest of the house. I mean, the floor has the same granite that kind of follows in from the family room. In terms of design, what we've done here is that again we've gone with the combination of stone and wood. The strips of Sadarali that we had on the lower floor, we've kind of taken it up, and that is seen on the elevation of the main wall on this floor. And of course, the family room opens on to a terrace garden, and so this basically connects to the street beyond. So the idea here was that, as on the ground floor, the house kind of connects to the street. With the screen, we've kind of taken care of the glare, but we've kept the partitions in such a way that you can have a connection to the street below. I mean, for the skylight, what we've also done is, instead of doing a simple grill, what we've done is we've kind of played with a little bit of curves here and then a perforated sheet. So that kind of allows more light to come in and creates an interesting pattern rather than, just how you would have a grill otherwise. So from the first floor, when you take the staircase and come to the topmost floor, you come up to a study space. So the study is essentially the man cave of the house. There's a TV, there's a outdoor space that you can walk out to. The den that I spoke of earlier, and this was that terrace which kind of opened on to, if I put the screen back, I mean, you through the screen you see the street, or you look down into the courtyard on the first floor. So because the site faced west, and the client came to us with this issue of a lot of heat in the original house that was there, I mean, we came up with this idea of a stone screen. The facade is made of Sadarali strips which are kind of inclined at 45 degrees and in two directions. So the idea is that when the sun moves through the day, you kind of get like different patterns, different parts lighting up through the day, but the central part is like a see-through. And the whole process of building this, because it's a stone, and the way how we had to put it together, how we stacked it. So the stacking, and there's a lot of metal that's hidden inside that kind of holds the whole thing up. When we proposed this heavy material being put on the facade, I was so sure that it's not going to fly. I mean, so we just said, okay, let's try it. So, but then, I mean, the surprise was that they just went for it and we built it. So that was I think one thing. A good home is a home where a client or somebody can just be, it complements your personality and what you are, and a space where you're really comfortable in. I think if you do that, then you've kind of done your part as an architect.